Hello, welcome to my craft room with Rhoda. Today I was going to show you a couple of extra little things. I did a second shop at Simon Says Stamps. I think I mentioned that. Well, this is the one stamp and stencil set I got, and I loved it because of these skull and crossbones. I have this in a larger form, but I also got this, the body of the skeleton, some kind of little distress kind of a texture here with dots, a table of the skeleton, and then a few little advertisements about druggists. And I really, really like that. That's about what it shows you get here. And I love these things. The stencil stamp sets, you get so much out of them. Now, these, I ran out. The hitch fasteners, I love them. I use those in most of my journals anymore. And all it is you put this one little guy on the front of your journal. You do a eyelet at the back, put a string in it, and it goes over that. I find that to be the most useful type of a closure. And if you put a stretchy string on it, it will expand so it doesn't tighten down and hurt your things. All right, I had to get grit paste. I want to try to make some tombstones for my Halloween journals. So I know that this, you can just rub it on. You don't even have to dye it or anything. But you just rub it on and it makes a real gritty, built up kind of a texture there. The black opaque, that's what I wanted to use. Either with the skeleton, oh no, the bats. I got the bats. And I know that black opaque will make a gorgeous background with the bats. And these two, I saw him using them on a little 5x6 card or something he was making. And this is Fortune Teller. It's a mica stain, and it's sort of a purple. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. Oh my God, I love purple. But he also used it with Uncharted Mariner. There was also a green of some type that he used. Well, it reminded me so much of a peacock. And you know me, I love my peacocks. So anyway, those two I'm going to be experimenting with on a background. And I don't know if it'll be for a Halloween journal or it'll just be for a peacock journal. Because I still have to do one of those. All right, the sneaky peek. Now, I got a couple little things back behind me I'm going to show you, but I'll do that at the end. I want to save something for the end. Okay, this is my March, April, yeah, March, April journal I did way back when. And here, this page, I had done I don't know what it was. It was a live with Marta, Maremi Small Art. So anyhow, she did a live, and we were doing a big art journal page, and we had to try to simulate what she was doing. Well, it was her birthday at the time, so there was a lot of times in between we got a chance to catch up. So it went along really well. I liked it. Anyway, so I can't remember what hers looked like, but this is what mine ended up looking like. I took a picture of it and put it in here. She gives you these things with the pieces we use, like the postcard I might have added myself, but the Together Always, the butterflies, these little birds, these little notebook kind of pages. She gave you all of that. This little bird here, and a few other things. And then I added my own stamps. You got a chance to make it your own. You also did a stencil with the texture paste. So you can kind of see it here with the little block design. That's my little, I don't know, checkerboard kind of thing I've got. So I used that on here. And then you had to try to blend those edges and bleed them into the page. That was the hardest part, because you had to add so much water to get that thing to flow. That was the hard part. And see, I made myself a little flip out. I cut the rest of this off because it was one of those triangular type of flaps. So I just cut that off so I could write in here. I had a few stickers that I got that was like cheap, and so I wrote in all that kind of information there. Oh, we're not going to show you anything else. I got to get stingy with my sneaky peeks. I've got one more book left, and then I got to figure out what to do. I'll probably go to Mom's books. Okay. Well, I have been pounding my brain on my computer, doing research, trying to come up with my storyline for my guy. Well, I do have who he is now. He is Alexander Zang. That is his name. And he was born in 1827 in northwest Bavaria, Germany, to John and Frederica Zang. And his brother Philip, he became a brewing magnate here in the United States. And all three of them, Alexander, his brother Philip, and Philip's wife Elizabeth, they came over after the parents died, and because there was political unrest over there. They arrived here in 1852 in New York. So then Alexander, he was a millwright and a varnish maker in New York, and he received his citizenship in 1859, which is perfect because look right at the top, it's got 1859. I didn't plan that. I didn't plan that, but where are they at? I was trying to find my little pieces. I still have these little pieces. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with those. But these, I was going to take those and put my dates on them. I have a number stamps, and that's what I'm probably going to do. I don't know that I'm going to do it along with us working on it or how. So anyhow, let's get into it. Our first page. I haven't got this sewn together yet. I haven't figured out what I want to do for the cover, but these are all pieces that are going to go on our first page. And here's the next part of the story. All right. We have these that are in the kit. There's 3 of them. Now, I'm going to take those and I'm going to ink around them. This is in the kit as a journal card. This was in there. I guess it's something to do with, you know, doing things on a train. And then she had that whole page of train tickets I showed you. Well, I cut it out. I left the bottom flush because I don't want that to hinder, because we're making a pocket. So we're just going to get in here and do this. Do me a little inking. And while I'm doing that, I will say thank you for coming to visit and spending some time with me and seeing what I'm doing with my little journal here. Oh my gosh, I'm craving to do Halloween-o, so I gotta get this thing done. That's why I sat there all yesterday working on that storyline, and I thought it was going to be about his brother Philip, but no, it didn't work out because I don't know, it was just something about the true storyline of Philip just did not work along with what I wanted to talk about and where I wanted my guy to be, the way I've got all of these pages arranged, that kind of thing. So we're just going to get in here and ink a little bit around this, give it some age. He's had it in his hand for a little while. So it needs to be a little skunky. Well, this I know. I need to put it on no, I don't need to put it on anything, do I? Because it's going to be a pocket. Okay. So, here's how we're going to do it. This is going down because it's just part of the background. And I'm going to make this up here at the top. We finally got our air fixed. I don't know if I've mentioned that in my previous video that I posted. Oh, boy, did we need that. It's hot today. So I had spent a little time out there in the kitchen just after breakfast. You know, I get up. My breakfast is about 11:30 or 12. I get up a little late. I like to sleep or stay up late and watch videos, and I'll pass out, and you know how it is. Okay, now this is going on here, and I'm probably going to be lining it up with that line. And so I'm going to go right around the inside of this and be able to put him down. And then if we need to glue a little bit more after that, we will. Now, I've left my old green mat down here because I didn't know what I was going to get into today. And I don't want to mess up my little gray mat I got. I love that little gray mat. He's beautiful. But anyhow, back to my my paper dyeing. I've been needing to do. I haven't done any paper dyeing this whole summer. None. None, none, none. So I thought, well, you know, I might need something for my Halloween journals. So I need to do something. All right, we're going to pull this down. This part right here is going to be the worst section because this is where the pocket entrance is. So we need to make sure that's down. The rest of it, not so much. As long as it's tacked a little bit, we're good. All right, so now we're going to just cut across here like that. I'm not going to worry about putting a thumb hole because I don't have that much room, to tell you the truth. So we're just going to leave it as it is. Then we're going to go ahead and put this here where it's kind of, you know, we don't need the numbers, not really. So I was just going to put it right there. I mean, I can't believe something being $6,666. I have no clue what that was. Ugh. So, anyhow, our guy, Alex, let's see, he has heard about Kansas in certain ways, and he's very intrigued. Kansas, in 1861, in January, became, the eastern portion of it became the Kansas Territory, and it was admitted to the Union as a free state of Kansas. So, that is what he has heard, and he has been interested in that ever since. And he was in the war. He was in the Civil War, and he was wounded, and he was in a few battles, and he was wounded at Gettysburg, and he just wanted to settle down for a little bit and recover. And so he settled down at Frederick, Maryland, and that's just, you know, down below there. So we're going to put this in here, and look, it's got admission right there. I thought that was kind of cool. Here's the train. In the Baltimore and Ohio, that is what he is going to get on. He's going to take, and he bought a ticket on the Baltimore and Ohio. And he just wanted to get away. You know, the war is really hard on, you know, the guys, and all the bad memories, fighting against it was a new country to him. He had just gotten over here not long before, and so anyhow, he thought, yes, he wanted to get away from it all, go somewhere different. So in 1866, he spent a few years to recover because he really, you know, he was really war torn. And he was a Union soldier, and he fought against the Confederate States. And here is some money that I actually have from the Confederate States of America. It's not real. I got it at New Market Battleground because they have all this stuff up there in their gift shop. And we went there sometime in class, and it's got, you know, the backs on here. Like, it's got the $10 on the back. And I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm thinking it's pretty accurate. But anyhow, that's what I wanted to make my pockets out of. I'm going to put a pocket on this side and a pocket on the back side. So what we're going to do is going to cut this out, and it's going to go on this scrap piece I've got right here. So we're cutting this out. Trying to get as straight as we can. Alright. Step behind me. I might need that layer. And so, poor Alex. Yeah, like I said, he was a Union soldier. He was the 39th New York, sorry, 39th New York Volunteers. And he joined in 1861, and he fought for his adopted country. And in 1860 Republican presidential election, the winner was Abraham Lincoln. Now, Lincoln, as we know, he was explicitly anti-slavery. So that's how he became a Union soldier, and he was not for the slavery at all. He did not like that. He got away from something similar to that in his home country, so he did not believe in it. And, oops, I like that little notch out of there. Now, he fought at Bull Run, Cross Keys, Harper's Ferry, and Gettysburg. Like I said before, that's where he was wounded. He was annotated in his military record as being a distinguished service. He was very good at his soldiering. I guess he followed the rules and did what he was told to do, fought very well. You know, he did what he had to do. He did become hearing impaired while serving, I guess, from all the cannons and things going off. You know, some of us, we just don't realize what these poor soldiers go through. So, it had to be bad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get our two pieces glued down, then we're going to trim them out, and then I'm going to put them on the page. So let me do that, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I've got my pocket in here, and this is what I want to put in here. I don't know who the little boy is. He doesn't really have anything to do with this scenario, but I like this about the travel. So he's going to sit here, and then I have the other money on the other side. Now here we're going to put a stamp. This is my train stamp that I had recently got, and it came from this set here. I don't know that this one has a name. Getting There. It's called Getting There. I never realized that. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to put that down there, and we're going to stamp, or maybe we'll put it up there, and that's going to go down here. So just that's part of the ephemera from the kit. Now what I need to do is put something under this while we're stamping it, because I've got other I've got other bumpy items under it. So this is going to give me a nice flat surface. All right. Well, when Abraham Lincoln got in office, he signed the Homestead Act in 1862. And it was where settlers could claim 160 acres of land, public land. And they paid a small filing fee, and they had to fulfill two options. They had to live on the land for 5 continuous years. They had to build a residence. They had to grow crops, or they could purchase the land from the government for $1.25 an acre and live on it for 6 months, as well as have a house and crops. I'm trying to get enough. It's not taking my ink very well today. And they had a 5-year window, and then the title was cleared, and the settler could own the land in question. Now, if they didn't want to wait that long, they could purchase it outright. Now, veterans of the Civil War, which our Alexander was, could reduce the 5-year window by the amount equal to the time in service, and provided they had a discharge certificate. So our guy, he had a distinguished service, so he looked well on paper. So he was really hoping that they still had some land available, because he left in January of 1866. That's when he bought his ticket, and he was headed for Topeka, Kansas on the Baltimore and Ohio train. And so, oh, that turned out really well. I like that. Now we have to glue our piece up above, and that page will be done. Yeah, he had him some money set aside from his service. His brother had already left to go live in Louisville, Kentucky. He went down there and had his own brewery and things like that. So he was not quite in the same area. There we go. But his brother was making a name for himself very well with brewing. Now here is our train. I think it turned out really nice. Looks like he's going along on some tracks there. All right, now we have more to the story. It seems like. While he was en route, passing, he went through Lower Ohio and Lower Indiana, and then he decides to stop and see his brother Philip in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's what the thing with the clocks is all about. He had time to stop, and we are going to take this and we're going to make it a flip out. See how it's nice and gray and it kind of goes with the clocks? So I thought I would get a little strip of paper and we're going to make a flip out. Okay, I found this little piece here of a tan piece of cardstock, and I've cut it down to where it's right under those curved areas. And it's 5/8 of an inch, and I scored it right in the center. So we're going to go ahead and get our glue, and we're going to put that down to where we can flip it right here. So this side will be up underneath of the tag or journal card, whatever you would like to call it. Or flip out, maybe. That would work. And I'm going to put it right here. Right along that crease. We're going to push this down, making sure we're right at the edge. Okay, I'm going to rub off some of that excess. And we're going to also burnish it down, just so we know it's nice and snug. Snug as a bug. There we go. So, I do need to wipe the excess. Don't want that going anywhere astray. Yep, we're good. Now we're going to do it right to the edge of our paper. So, I'm going to glue that part down. Whee! Alright, good enough. Now we're going to put it right here on the edge. Might need to move up just a little bit. I'm going to try to center it as best as I can. Well, and get it on the edge as best as I can. There we go. If it's not, exactly on the edge, that's fine. Doesn't have to be. So we're going to get that in there. Then we're going to flip this out and see what we got in here. Just make sure nothing's slipping out that we don't want. Okay. Yep, looks like it works. We'll let it get in. We'll squish it right here. That's what I like to do a lot of times with things I put on the edge. I like to just keep working it with my finger and squishing and squishing and making sure you don't have any little gaps, because you sometimes do. I'm trying to think, is that a gap? Okay, we'll check it out later. All right, now we are to another section that is just going to have a very simple pocket, like a side pocket. So what we have going here, we need to put it maybe onto something to make it a little more firm. Okay, I just got me an index card. This is one of the larger ones. I think it's a 5x7. And we're just going to use that. It's not quite as thick as cardstock. So, you know, and I'll probably put an index card in it, to tell you the truth, because I've got some out there mixing it up with some coffee. And I have some RHODA dye sprinkled in it. I got 2 clearance RHODA dyes at Hobby Lobby the last time I was there. And I thought, well, let me sprinkle it on here and see if I can get a nice grungy look for my journals. So we're going to see how that works out. It looked like it was doing a right nice job when I left. I've got them out there on my deck. This is the first time I've done any deck paper dyeing this year. I don't know what happened. It's the first time. It's been a while. So I always get some neat textures and stuff because I put this rug gripper in between. I have a couple of table placemats that I'll put in between. I have a really great they're a plastic, so you know they just kind of have a grid design or a woven design. It's something, and it really does a nice job. I've ran out of all of my pieces. Like, I can get that straight. That I had that pattern on. I've almost used them all up because I love it. Okay, so we're done with that. And what we got to do is cut a thumb pull out of here. Get some of that out of the way because it's going to be a thumb pull on that side. So we got to go over here. And then we'll ink it. I got to eyeball it, see if I'm in the middle. Looks good. Looks good. Then we're going to take some ground espresso. Ink it up. Get it real nice and grungy. Love grungy. Because we're out on the road. So anyhow, back to our story. So after about a month of visiting with his brother and his wife, well, actually, I think his wife had passed away. He may have went on to his second wife by this time, Philip, I mean. Well, so after about a month, he got on the road or on the train again, and he's going through a stretch of Missouri. He's almost to his destination of Topeka, Kansas, and he's going through a section of Missouri, and he got to talking with a young man, a very young man, and this young man had quite a few guns on his person, at least 3 that he could see. I mean, I guess that wasn't, you know, anything odd back in those times. Everybody about had a gun. But to have 3 was sort of excessive. And I believe 1 was a rifle. So anyhow, the young man, he's talking about treasure to be that he had, and he knew where to find it. And he said it was in a place called Liberty. Well, Alex, he didn't know what he was talking about. So he just kind of, you know, just chatted with him a little bit, and he didn't get confrontational or anything with him. He just kind of let the young man talk. He didn't want to cause any trouble. So he just kind of thought that was odd, but he knew how people were from being in the war, and he didn't want to cause any ripples. So our next page is kind of showing that young man and all of his guns. He's out a knife. But anyhow, we have to put him on a background, and we have to put this one on a firm background, because this is going to be a tuck. I'm putting it right, probably down here. I'll put it right down here, because we don't want the play to show. That doesn't come into contention right here. Now, cutting some of those journal cards apart on just regular, I did them on copy paper. I got these 2 letters here, and I thought, you know, if I cross them, they look like X marks the spot. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to put those down. I don't know that I need to ink them any. We'll see if we can ink them. We can ink them a little bit. I wasn't sure if they could hold up to inking, to tell you the truth. Being copy paper and all that. But I thought, well, yeah, let me see what I could do there. So anyhow, the only reason that he knew the picture of the young man is because his picture got put up in the Topeka, Kansas wanted posters because he found out that this young man was Jesse James, and his first ever bank robbery was in Liberty, Missouri. So, how do you like those apples? Oh, it's a good thing he didn't get confrontational with the young man, because I don't know, he probably had a short fuse. So, it happened to be in February 13th of 1866 is when the Clay County Savings and Loan, or Savings Association, I'm sorry, was held up. It was held up by Jesse and I think, what was that other crew he was with? He had a few other guys. No, not the Daltons. There were so many bank robbers back there at that time. But they made off with $60,000 in bonds, paper currency, gold, and silver. They got a lot. So let me get my cardstock to put those on. Okay, so I've backed this with a scrap piece of card. It was a greeting card somebody sent me, and I backed that with blue. Nobody's going to see it. It's going to go right here, and it's going to blend right in. I've already put me a little bit of ink on the outside edge of this one. The other one I didn't ink at all. I didn't need it because it had a white border. Okay, so that goes right here. And I don't want it that close to my spine, so it doesn't gum it up, you know. Here I have a little bit. This was a St. Patrick's Day thing of, it had a rainbow, it had a pot of gold, it had all these coins. So this is going to be my Jesse James. All of them are falling off every which way. So I'm just going to glue what I can here. Oh. Let me get the tweezers. My money is slipping through my hands. Oh, that is not a good thing. Oop, I think it goes up this way. You can see the little shamrock on top of them. So we're going to have, I don't know, we'll have some of the gold right here. And then some of it on further down. But I thought that'd be a cute little addition. I've been trying to use up this gold, and it just hasn't been going anywhere. I used all the shamrocks for the front of my album, my journal over there. You probably saw that. Actually, maybe I need to put that big one up above. Whoops. Let me put that one up above, and I'll put that little, that little one down here. Ooh. Now you saw how fast that art glitter took a hold of that, didn't you? Whew. That was quick. All right, we got this one little piece left. We're gonna hide my boo-boo with that. Oh, there. See, nobody knows. Nobody knows a thing. All right, so we're gonna cap our glue. I think we're going to be done for the day. We have to put this in the trash. We got to put our Jesse James over in here. And So the thing I wanted to show you was, let me get that out of the way. You remember me making these the other day, the collage strips. So I had made, you saw a few of them that's going to go in here. These were some small tuck-sized ones. This was another one. Here was a couple that I made that were red. They were all, natural colors. So these had to do with travel. So I'll probably put these with, I have a travel journal probably in the near future. This thing was it's like a journal card, but it was one of my challenges. And I just didn't film it. But it had paper towel. It had, it had balloon. Gosh, what else did, oh, a stamp. I can't remember. I can't remember anything else. But anyhow, oh, ticket. Now I made the shape of a ticket. But those are all vertical. So I thought, why nobody has done any of these collage strips in a horizontal? Because what it is, it's 10 inches. So it's 10 to 20. So yeah, it's 10 inches. So I can make two pockets out of this. So I could cut it right down through there. I'm going to be cutting postal card in half, but I don't think that's any, worry. But anyhow, I did a little stamping on here. I did a bunch of pieces from some of the 8x8 Tim Holtz paper pads. I just wanted to put some images and some people and some stamping and then some neutrals or papers that went with it. Here's another one. This one has more of the ships and anything that had to do with it, and of course stamps, and then little odds and ends I put in there too. So what I figured with this one, this is actually 12 inches here. So my idea with it was I would do a 5-inch, another 5-inch, and then I've got a little piece at the end, which is going to be the ship. So it could be a tuck, it could be a very small tag, it could be anything you wanted. It could be a little dangle. So anyhow, I wanted to show you those so you could get another idea. If you didn't want to have a bunch of journal cards and stuff that went up and down, then you could have pockets that are made in the same concept. So I just wanted to show you that and let you get an idea. All right, everybody, all my watchers, subscribers, viewers, all of you guys and girls, I really appreciate you coming to visit. I hope you got a few ideas to take with you. We'll be getting back to the rest of the story here in another few days. Everybody, have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.